Dylan from Autowash here, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Wash. And today we're talking waterless washing. A little bit different, something you're gonna do in between your visits to Autowash locations. Or maybe after the wash, you wanna do a little drying to get the last little bit of water that's dripping out of the mirrors and the door handles. So we have a product that we developed in conjunction with our friends over at Adams Polishes called Complete Clean. So this is a co-branded product with us and the pros over at Adams Polishes to give you a solution, solves a couple of different problems. Now, if you've purchased or received one of our clay and seal kits, you already have one of these and you'd use that for clay bar, for decontaminating paint. What I'm gonna show you today though is the other use for it, which would be that in-between wash touch-up, waterless washing as it's known. So you can use this to address bird bombs, fingerprints, smudges, light dust, those kind of things that might happen if you come out to the garage and maybe there's been a windstorm, there's some dust settled. Now we have an extreme case here because we've got a little bit of a project going on in the back here at Autowash. It's creating a little bit of extra dust. More on that in a future episode. So if you're dealing with this extreme level of dust, I'd honestly recommend get over to Autowash, use the touchless or self-serve bays and get all this off. But we figured this was an excellent opportunity to show you that this can be safely done if you follow the right process. So for any purpose, you're gonna want a high quality microfiber towel like our Luxe Orange Edgeless towels that we have in the vending machines now. You want at least a couple of those if you're trying to do the whole car, at least one if you're just doing touch-ups and things. And obviously, I'm gonna want my Complete Clean. Now, Complete Clean is a really interesting product because it's a mix of lubricants and surfactants, and what it does is it kind of attaches to any of the dry residues like dust, bird droppings, and those kind of things, and kind of wraps it in a, kind of encapsulates it, makes it safe for you to wipe. Now, if I was just to start wiping this car right now with even the softest microfiber towel I can find, dragging around those little particles of dust, debris, and pollen is going to introduce fine lines and scratches. So I want to add some lubrication. I want to add something that traps those dirt particles and makes it safe for me to remove them. Now, the amount of Complete Clean you're going to use is going to depend largely on what you're dealing with. If you're dealing with a lot of dust, you're going to want to heavily saturate the area. If it's just a light dust, or you're dealing with a couple of smudges, fingerprints, those kind of things, then a light mist will do. So I'm going to start by shaking up my Complete Clean, and I'm going to mist over an area that I want to treat. So I'm going to be pretty heavily handed since there's so much dust on this vehicle. I don't need to wait, I don't need to let it sit or anything like that. It's already going to work. It's starting to encapsulate those small dirt particles, dust and things, and making it nice and round and soft and lubricating the surface. Now I'm going to take my plush towel, and I've got it folded into fourths, so I got some fresh sides to work with, and I am going to simply wipe in one continuous direction. Look at the amount of dirt on that. So now I don't want to rub this back into the panel. That would be a terrible idea. So I'm going to kind of shift by rolling the towel to a fresh section. I'm just going to repeat the next swipe, rolling my wrist up. There's another one there. I can fold that in on the towel and then just keep going. So I'm going to expose a fresh part of the towel for each new wiping that I do. That way I'm not grinding that dust and dirt back into the surface. Again, even though it's just dust and dirt and it seems like, oh, it's fine, it's just, you know, it's tiny little particles. Those tiny little particles, when pushed with the towel, are gonna leave little tiny light surface scratches. And that's where you get that spider webbing effect on your car. If you're wiping when it's dirty, you're causing scratches, you're basically turning a really soft, plush microfiber towel into something that more resembles sandpaper. So I'm just gonna keep going. And once I've got most of the dust off and I've got a clean surface now I can take a fresh side of the towel and I can rub anywhere I want to get any residues, light hazing, or streaks that were left behind. But now I've got a perfectly clean area that is scratch-free, and the best part is this is compatible with all kinds of surface coating. So if you have paint protection film or a ceramic coating, or you're just using wax or sealant, this does not deposit any new protection behind. This is purely a lubrication and cleaner for those surfaces. So you can use it on your ceramic coated car and it's not gonna impact the performance, the water beading of your ceramic coating. It's not gonna harm your paint protection film or anything like that. It's purely a cleaner for getting dust and light particulate off. Now, let's say that you are dealing with something like maybe a bug splat or bird bomb. You've got a little bit larger chunk of something like that. In a case like that, I would recommend turning the nozzle to more of the stream setting and blasting that one individual area real heavily, getting it nice and saturated with Complete Clean, and then following the same process. Take your towel, a fresh spot, and just wipe cleanly in that one area until it's gone, flipping constantly if you have to, and then come back over and buff away any streaks or residue. But that's it, it's as simple as that. And you can use Complete Clean on your paint, your glass, wheels, even works on interior like your navigation screens, your instrument clusters, any high gloss finishes on the inside. Works perfectly for that, for dusting and removing those kind of fingerprints and smudges. So hopefully, armed with Complete Clean, whether you're dealing with a couple of drips of water after a wash at an auto wash location, you pull out to the vacuum area and you want to address those water droplets that are running out of the door handles, perfect solution. Saturate the area, wipe with a towel. If you're gonna deal with some dust between washes, maybe it's only been a day or two since your last visit to auto wash, the car's getting a little dusty sitting in the garage and you just wanna quickly touch it up before you take it out, bottle of Complete Clean. I recommend keeping a bottle in your trunk at all times so you're always ready to address those situations. And 3 to 4 microfiber towels are usually good to cover an average size sedan. Armed with that information, hopefully you're able to keep your car cleaner for longer and have an enjoyable experience with Complete Clean. Because after all, you're choosing Auto Wash because you love your car.